Hello everyone, this is Joanna from Cazoomi and we'd like to thank you to SyncApps' second webinar series. So for today, we will be talking about integrating your campaign responses from Salesforce to Constant Contact using SyncApps. Together with me today are my colleagues, our support team, and our development team to answer any questions that you might have. If you have further questions, you can always ask them through our chat box in the GoToMeeting webinar. So firstly, you must create the sync profile for Salesforce to Constant Contact using SyncApps. This has been discussed over our past webinar with the topic Salesforce for Constant Contact Integration, which we have blogged and marketed on our Cazoomi website. We will be sending to you a link to that blog and to the video so you can see how you can set up your integration between Salesforce and Constant Contact. After setting up your basic integration, you can proceed to editing your sync profile and integrating your campaign responses from Constant Contact over to Salesforce. Here, I'm just going to show you how you can edit your sync profile over in SyncApps. So in step 1, as you have already set up your basic integration, you have the ability to actually sync from Constant Contact to Salesforce with our advanced settings or advanced options. So here we have a checkbox called Sync Campaign Responses. You can hover over the Sync Note tooltip for more information on the checkbox or each feature that you might have some questions in SyncApps. So once checked, all you have to do is select a campaign response sync mode, which you can also hover to provide you some sync notes on what that may be. So for this instance, we will be creating a Salesforce campaign for each response or each campaign response rather that you have in Constant Contact to Salesforce. So once you click on the drop down here, you can select different sync modes depending on your requirement for the integration. You can create a Salesforce campaign, an activity, a Salesforce campaign and activity, create a contact or lead note which is applicable to Salesforce Apto, and you can also have the option to create Salesforce campaign only with no campaign member integrated between Constant Contact to Salesforce. So now let's just select on this Create Salesforce Campaign. And we have here a blue button which will tell you how to set up opens, clicks, bounces, and all of the marketing metrics that you might want to sync from Constant Contact to your Salesforce accounts. So by clicking here, it tells you how to set up your Salesforce page layout to actually integrate your marketing metrics from Constant Contact over to Salesforce. Yeah, so this is also further explained in our knowledge base article and how you can set up Constant Contact to Salesforce integration, which the link has also been provided in the chat box for you. Going back to the sync profile pop-up here, we also have a quick video guide in which you can see for a minute on how you can set up your campaign response in Salesforce using SyncApps. So for today, I'm going to show you actually how to do it. So going over to your Salesforce dashboard, you'll have to go to Setup, which you can find in this settings on the right panel here. Just go to Setup. Let's quit that. Then go to Object Manager. Next one, you'll have to select which type of object that you like. If you'd like to, the contacts, the object type contacts, then you will have to select the contact here in Salesforce Object Manager. If you'd like to integrate the leads, then you will have to do so, and etc., etc. So for now, let's go and proceed with contact. And then on the left panel are the page layouts. Just select or create a new page layout depending on your requirement or on your integration need. Okay, that's great. Now that we're here on your Salesforce setup for Object Manager on your contacts page layout, you can browse below, wherein you will find the campaign history list. So once here, you will have to click on the wrench icon. This is a quick edit icon. So all you have here are the available fields that you can integrate or that you can use in Salesforce page layout. Please be noted that only 10 fields can be selected in your page layout here. So if you'd like to sync or integrate the bounces, then you'll have just to add that over to your fields here. If you'd like to integrate the clicks, all of the marketing metrics that you would like to integrate between Salesforce and Constant Contact, you will have to manually set up the fields over here in Salesforce Object Manager for SyncApps to automatically populate all of the fields that you have just set up in your Salesforce account. Just click on OK and save. Also, please be noted that make sure that your microphones are turned off. If you have further questions, to turn your mics on, it will be by the end of this demo. You can use the chat box for any questions that you might have in regards to the ongoing demo that we have right now. Thank you. So now that you have set up your page layout in Salesforce, you can go back to SyncApps and click on Next. So if you have any questions, please feel free to head over to the chat box, and our sales engineers in the room today will be glad to help you out with any question that you might need answering for. So over here in step 2, very basic, all you have to do is, since you have set up basic integration from Salesforce and Constant Contact and SyncApps, you will no longer need to edit or to add additional settings in your step 2 of your sync profile here. We can now proceed to clicking Save, so we can proceed to the sync process. Okay. Please be noted that if ever you have changes to your sync profile, you will have to select or click our Reset Sync Process button so that SyncApps can automatically reset or reread all of the edits, all of the modifications that you have set with the new sync profile. So let's continue by clicking that. And just wait for SyncApps to notify you that your last modification data has been successful. Then after resetting successfully, you can click on our Sync Now button. And wait for a few minutes for SyncApps to sync your data from Constant Contact to Salesforce and back. So if you have further questions, please always feel free to head over to the chat box, and our sales engineers will be glad to answer them for you. Katie has asked if what type of Salesforce account does this apply. So it works on any Salesforce account that has any campaign feature in your account. So that would definitely work with SyncApps for integrating your Constant Contact campaign metrics back to your Salesforce. So now we can proceed by going to the reports button right here, since the sync process is now completed. So you can see here with the sync reports, the full sync report. If you'd like to see only the report from Salesforce to Constant Contact, please head over to the orange button right here. If you'd like to see the processed email addresses from Constant Contact to Salesforce, then you can do so in that sync report as well. So for the summary, we have the number of records that has been updated from Salesforce to Constant Contact and from Constant Contact to Salesforce. Down below, this is the sync logs, which is a detailed sync details for you. This is just a guide to know which configuration between your integration has been done by SyncApps. So all you can see here is all of the settings that you have set in your sync profile and what have been integrated from Salesforce to Constant Contact. After setting up your campaign metrics response from Constant Contact to Salesforce using SyncApps, all you have to do is go to Salesforce and see if your campaign's history has been added with the bounces, the clicks, etc. of all the campaign metrics that you have just recently set. You can confirm that as well by going to Constant Contact and see the campaign metrics that you have in your campaigns, if that is correct and if that has been mirrored perfectly in your Salesforce campaigns. Also, please be noted that this demo will be posted in our blog by Friday. So head on there to look at the webinar in case you have any more questions, and all of the links that has been given to you with the questions will be put there as well. And also, if you have missed our previous webinar series, which has topic on Salesforce and Constant Contact integration, that is also updated and uploaded in our YouTube account and as well as on our blogs. So please feel free to head over to Cazoomi.com and our blogs to see our previous webinar and as well as this webinar for your reference, of course. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them over the chat box or through the chat box or at support@Cazoomi.com. So do you have any questions from the team? I see that there are none. So also please be noted that the campaign response is only available for our free plan, professional and enterprise plan, given that on the free plan you purchase it as an add-on, or in our professional and enterprise plans, this is included in the package already. So for now, we can have the open mic discussion. If you have any further questions or any clarifications with regards to constant contact to Salesforce integration and with regards to the campaign responses syncing. Again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to talk with any of our sales engineers right now. Do you have any use cases or any integration setup that you'd like to go over and talk with us so our sales engineer can talk with you over the phone right now? I see that there are no questions from the team. So we'd like to thank you again for joining this webinar series. And we'd like to invite you to the next Wednesday webinar that we'll be hosting. So please stay tuned and watch out for our email update on the next webinar series that we will be doing next week. Also, if you missed our previous webinar on Salesforce and Constant Contact integration, it will be in our Cazoomi blog. And this webinar series for campaign responses will be posted on our blog on Friday as well. If you need a 30-minute one-on-one dedicated phone support with our sales engineer, you can always book us at Cazoomi.com/services. If you have any questions with regards to the integration or to the webinar, you can always ping us at support@Cazoomi.com, and our 24/7 support team will be glad to help you out. Thank you all for joining this webinar, and we'll see you next time.